Hi. Today I'm talking about doing what makes you happy. But do you know what? What does that even mean? It means something different for everybody, really, doesn't it? I mean, I woke up this morning being completely annoying. If you look at my Facebook profile, you'll see that I posted that Spandau Ballet song Gold. Now imagine someone in their nightgown bouncing around the kitchen singing that song with air guitars, and even though there isn't a guitar in it, but that's the way that I wake up in the morning. And I woke up happy. I hadn't won the lottery, I hadn't got some kind of inheritance, I hadn't anything in particular. I just felt happy, I felt content, and I felt like I could move mountains. And part of that comes from having such a peace of mind. You know, when you're in control of yourself, and that's taken ages to get there, where I actually can think through everything that I need to do and make a plan about how I'm going to do it every day. So I'd say for the average adult, self-care includes health and beauty, nutrition. It can include goal setting, achieving those goals. It can include networking, socializing, personal development. I love a bit of personal development. I'm a lifetime learner. I like to learn something new every day, which is why I enjoy teaching. But for adults, I think it's a little bit easier for us to determine exactly what we're trying to where we're trying to get to feel that form of happiness. Would you agree? But for kids, it's a little bit different because, you know, I've spoken before about the level of hormones they have running around their bodies. Sometimes they don't even know what they're feeling. And we send them to school every day with expectations from us that they do well because they're in school. And then they have the expectations from their teachers to do well. But at which point is anybody really knowing what's going on in that little teenage mind? It's a funny little place. I can imagine it being quite busy. And it's important that we take time to work out what's going on in that body, work out how we can help it to become clear so that they can wake up and bounce around the kitchen to gold, if that's what they want to do. I'm the type of teacher that actually acknowledges, and I think it's important to acknowledge that not everyone wakes up feeling ready for the day, no matter how old you are. As you know, my son is 8. Even at 8 years old, some people would say, what have you got to worry about? We don't know. They take different little things on. They're like little sponges. They take things on. We don't know what they've listened to. We don't know what they've heard. And it's important to be able to really just take that time out to clear their minds in any way that we can, to allow them to think clearly. And that's what part of what I do with my tuition. Yes, it is largely academic based, and it's based on the goals that you set your child and how you would like those goals to look, because independent learning is important. And if they're not really bought into it because they don't think they're being listened to, that independent learning isn't going to happen really well. However, what I do is I like to have a conversation with them first after their diagnostic test to make sure that they actually want tuition. And you'd be surprised. There was a time when most kids wanted the latest gadget. The thing to have lately is tuition, because it gives, when it's done well, it really allows your child to thrive because they're being listened to more. And it doesn't even have to be one-to-one, because my niche is tuition in groups, where after the diagnostic test, they're grouped together. So the groups are no larger than 3, but they're three people of equal ability and similar goals and similar interests, so that they get along and they start to feel that competition between each other, which can only help them in the long run, can't it, when you think about it? It's a little bit of competition does the body good. Well, that's my belief anyway. And you'd be surprised at how happy it makes them to come along and learn, because they come in, they do their do nows. That's a standard part of the lesson. The do now you get to do to settle your mind and get into the lesson. But then I like to keep my talk to a minimum. So I'll explain what we're doing and I'll model what we're doing, but then I'll allow them to have a conversation about what's happened in their day and try and help them to model through and what their feelings are, so that they feel like they can work, talk, take in what they're learning and really start to feel the benefits of actually learning something new. And most of all, it makes their goals seem that much more doable. It doesn't fill them with dread that when they enter this classroom, they can't speak when they need to speak. They can't laugh, they can't smile, there's so many can'ts, it's quite unreal. But what they can do in my classroom is learn, because their mind is calm, it doesn't have to be cluttered, it's more productive, it's more at ease with itself, it feels its goals more. There's so many positives to tuition. I'd spend a long time talking to you about it, but if you want to know more, absolutely, you can contact me and I'll be happy to send you a PDF which sets out all the goals for all the benefits for you, and some typical goals that students of mine have actually suggested for themselves. And when they notice I say for themselves, that doesn't mean that those are the accepted goals, because they can be a bit way out sometimes, but it does mean that it's there, it's put on the table, it's for discussion, and it's put into context with life goals. And it's quite an involved process. It isn't just a case of I've got homework to do, let me do my homework. No, it's about really building lives, really contributing to lives, helping students, and that's students at any age, I would say, feel like, that they're on that road towards true happiness. So when I say, what does it even mean when you say happy? So what makes you happy? What does that even mean? It means getting your mind in a position that it can take in what you need. Okay, and that's a bit of a cryptic comment there even. But what I mean is getting your mind in a place that you actually start recognizing yourself, recognizing what your needs are, recognizing it's okay. It's okay to not have the same needs as everybody else. It's okay not to be running with whatever's going viral on social media at any time. It's okay to just be you, to have your goals, to aim for those goals, to make those goals happen. Agreed? So this afternoon's call to action, because I may well be back later, is to think about it. What makes you happy? Is your mind too cluttered right now? How can anyone help you? Because sometimes it's about just getting another professional involved. I have two, and I'm very happy with them. They help keep me on track and they help me achieve my goals. They've contributed to my happiness. They've contributed to helping me develop my business. And all of that makes me extremely happy, because it gives me more time to devote to my children. My little 8-year-old, my 22-year-old, she's not too old to want her mama's help as well. It all contributes in the end. So think about what professionals would you need? And don't even think about it in terms of, have I got the money to do this? Because money will come. Have you got the desire to do it? And have your children express to you that they would like to have a tutor? Have you asked them? It's a lot of questions, isn't it, for this time of the afternoon? But there we go. Later.